So we just got back from our little camping trip and participating in the 7QP contest from 3 counties in the deepest canyon in North America. So how'd it go? Well... Well, as you can see, I crashed the drone there. Don't worry, just broke 2 props, missed the water by about that much. The gyro and the camera still seem to work okay, so we're good. Here's a link to the video I just did about putting the mobile antenna on the trailer. And as you can see, I wound up stringing up the off-center fed dipole. The reason was that mobile antenna didn't work. Tried it here several times before we left. Worked perfect every time. Took it off the trailer to haul it down there. Got down there, put it on. Would not tune up. Have no idea why. I messed around with it for about 2 hours. Even put ground radials out trying to solve the problem. It still wouldn't tune. Swept it with the antenna analyzer. Move it up and down, no change. I have no idea what's wrong with it yet. So I wound up luckily having that MaxCon off-center fed dipole with us, strung it up, and wound up using it for the contest. So how did we do? Well, for the contest, not very good. We wound up only making about 100 Qs, and so that wasn't so good. Family time was awesome. We went fishing, hiking around the area, went and explored some stuff. The kids caught their first fish ever, which unfortunately I didn't have the camera along with me, so we were fishing for crappies, and perch would get on once in a while too. But we caught a few. But the boy, little Blaine, he wound up catching a great big bass. In fact, it was so heavy we couldn't get it up the bank before it broke the line. So he was pretty excited about it. Even though we didn't land that fish, he was pretty pumped about it. Actually, both of them were super excited about that fish. As far as the radio end of it, man, we had nothing but problems. Okay, so the Ryobi generator. The reason I chose it over the Harbor Freight is, if you go read the Harbor Freight reviews, there's one in there in particular where it's a ham that put it on there. said that it's extremely noisy when they tried it for field day use, and so I wanted to steer clear of that one. And you know, I'm talking about these little inverter style generators, and the Hondas are by far the best, but you know, I didn't want to go spend $1,000 on a generator because, well, I'm cheap. So I opted to try this Ryobi one. I looked on their reviews. I didn't see anything real negative on any of them besides, you know, besides some of the normal it wouldn't start stuff. But so I bought it and took it down there, and unfortunately I should have tried it before we took it. That little generator is extremely noisy on HF. Because of that, we wound up not being able to use our ALS 600 down there, so we had to run barefoot out of there, 100 watts, off that off-center fed dipole. And we're operating in the deepest canyon in North America, Hell's Canyon. And we're not in the very deepest part of the canyon there, but the angles where we were at, to the east and the west, were 30-degree takeoff angles, plus some of them are 35-degree takeoff angles. To the north, we had one little gap there, about 15-degree takeoff, and to the south, about a 12-degree takeoff angle. So we did fairly well to the south and a little to the north on 20 meters, but it was a tough gig to get out of there. Back to the generator. That thing, anything that touched that generator was just noise up the wazoo. You know, the amp, as soon as I plugged it in to that generator, all of a sudden the noise went from like maybe an S3. Now mind you, without the generator running at all, we had pretty much no noise down there. Started the generator, had about an S3 noise level, plugged the amp into the generator, and that noise floor came up to about an S7, and totally unusable. So we wound up not running the generator except to charge the batteries on the trailer, and that worked okay, but I think that little generator is going back. I even drove ground rods in. I had two short little 3-foot ground rods with me and drove those in, one at the generator, one at the trailer, and hooked them up. Didn't make any difference at all, so, you know, what can I say? Should have tried it before I left. So 20 meters wound up not being real good for us. We made short little runs, and that's about all we could pull off, and we wound up just hunting and pouncing on people more than anything. So, you know, it didn't work out real well for us for the contest. 40 and 80 meters actually wound up picking up quite a bit. That worked fairly well out of that canyon. Unfortunately, by the time it really started working well, everybody was super tired. 8 o'clock rolled around and it was time for everybody to go to bed. These are more of a family camping trip with a little ham radio mixed in it. The contest is not our main goal. And that's a pretty neat location down there. There's 3 counties that meet up right there. Oregon, Baker County, Oregon, Wallowa County, and in Idaho County, I think it's Adams County, are all right there. And the rules for 7QP say you have to be within 500 feet of those county lines. So that's what we did. And because the county line between the Oregon counties and Idaho are, you know, dead center in the middle of the Snake River. So we stayed within that 500 feet and we're good to go. So just wanted to give a quick little video out today with our little adventure. Hope you enjoy it, and thanks for watching, subscribing. Here's a little more footage that we took while we were down there, and have a great week, everyone. Delta Alpha Juliet. You're 5'9", going to be 3 counties. First county, Oregon, Bravo Alpha Kilowatt. Second county is Oscar Romeo, Whiskey Alpha Lima. And the last one is in Idaho, and it's Alpha Delta Mexico. QSO?
Sorry, could you please say